There's an animal that can see heat, smell in 3 dimensions, and unhinge its jaw to swallow prey twice its size. Some species can kill you in minutes with venom that dissolves your blood cells from the inside. Others don't need venom because they can feel your heartbeat through your skin and squeeze until it stops. Snakes aren't just dangerous. They're perfectly evolved killing machines that have survived multiple mass extinctions, adapted to nearly every environment on Earth, and developed hunting methods so effective they barely needed to change. Here's what should disturb you. There are nearly 4,000 snake species on this planet, and they range from harmless garden snakes to apex predators that can kill elephants and the really terrifying ones. Most people have never heard of them. So today, we're going into the snakes you don't know about, not the rattlesnakes and cobras everyone recognizes, but the ones that hunt in ways that seem impossible, the ones with abilities that shouldn't exist. And I'm warning you now, some of these are going to change how you think about what snakes are capable of. Let's start with something that breaks the biggest rule about snakes. The tentacled snake. Most snakes hunt by striking at prey. The tentacled snake doesn't move at all, it just waits. It lives in Southeast Asian waters and has 2 strange tentacles protruding from its face. Scientists weren't sure what they were for until they watched it hunt. The snake positions itself in murky water and remains completely motionless. When a fish swims nearby, the tentacles detect water displacement. Then the snake does something incredible. It doesn't strike at where the fish is, it strikes at where the fish will be. Fish have an escape reflex that makes them dart away from threats in a predictable direction. The tentacled snake has evolved to predict this, creating a disturbance with its body that triggers the fish's escape response, causing the fish to swim directly into the snake's open mouth. It's not chasing prey, it's psychologically manipulating it into getting caught. The entire attack takes 15 milliseconds. That's faster than a fish can process what's happening. Now, let's talk about something that hunts with a built-in thermal camera. Pit vipers, rattlesnakes, copperheads, and their relatives all have heat-sensing pits on their faces, located between the eye and nostril. These aren't just temperature sensors, they're sophisticated infrared detectors that can sense temperature differences of 0.003 degrees Celsius. In complete darkness, a pit viper can create a thermal image of its surroundings, accurate enough to strike a mouse with perfect precision. But here's what makes them terrifying. The heat sensing and visual information combine in the snake's brain to create a combined image. The snake isn't choosing between seeing light or seeing heat, it's seeing both simultaneously, layered over each other, which means in darkness, when you can't see anything, a pit viper can see you perfectly. It knows exactly where you are, how big you are, and where your vital organs are generating the most heat. You're not invisible in the dark, you're glowing. Now, something that shouldn't be able to fly, but does anyway, the paradise tree snake. This snake has figured out how to glide through the air for over 300 feet, traveling between trees without ever touching the ground. It doesn't have wings or membranes. It flattens its entire body, doubling its width and creating a concave surface that generates lift. Then it launches itself from a branch and undulates through the air in an S-shaped pattern, essentially swimming through the sky. And it's not just falling with style. The snake can change direction mid-flight, adjust its trajectory, and land exactly where it wants. It's more maneuverable in the air than some gliding mammals. Imagine walking through a jungle and a snake comes flying at you from the trees. That's not a horror movie, that's just Tuesday in Southeast Asia. Alright, now let's get into something genuinely disturbing. The boomslang. It's a tree snake from Africa, bright green, about 5 feet long, and it has the most horrifying venom delivery system in the snake world. Most venomous snakes have fangs at the front of their mouth. The boomslang has fangs at the back. It's called rear-fanged, which sounds less dangerous until you understand what it means. To inject venom, the boomslang has to chew on you. It doesn't strike and release like a rattlesnake. It bites down and holds on, working its jaws to drive those rear fangs deeper into tissue while pumping venom into the wound. It's not a defensive bite, it's methodical envenomation, and the venom is hemotoxic, which means it destroys blood cells and prevents clotting. You don't die quickly, you bleed internally. Blood seeps from your gums, your eyes, your nose. Every capillary in your body starts hemorrhaging. There's a famous case from 1957 where herpetologist Carl Schmidt was bitten by a juvenile boomslang. He documented his symptoms in a journal for 24 hours. As the venom took effect, nausea, bleeding from mucous membranes, organ failure. He died the next day, and the snake that killed him was less than 2 feet long. Now, let's talk about the biggest venomous snake in the world, the king cobra. It can grow over 18 feet long, raise a third of its body off the ground to look you in the eye, and it's the only snake that builds a nest to protect its eggs. But here's what makes king cobras uniquely terrifying. They're ophiophagous. That means they primarily eat other snakes, including venomous ones. A king cobra will hunt and kill other cobras, kraits, and vipers, then eat them whole. And they're immune to most snake venoms. They've evolved resistance because their primary diet is literally other venomous snakes. A king cobra can get bitten by a Russell's viper, which would kill most animals, and just keep hunting. But their own venom is designed differently. It's neurotoxic, targeting the nervous system. A king cobra bite delivers enough venom to kill 20 people, or an elephant. The venom shuts down your diaphragm, you stop breathing, and you're conscious the entire time, unable to move or breathe while your brain suffocates. And king cobras are aggressive when guarding nests. They will chase you. There are documented cases of king cobras pursuing people for over 300 feet. Most snakes flee from humans. King cobras decide you're a threat and eliminate the threat. Now, something that takes patience to a disturbing level, the death adder. It's native to Australia, which should tell you everything you need to know. Death adders are ambush predators that bury themselves in leaf litter or sand with only their head exposed. Then they wait, for days if necessary, completely motionless except for one thing, their tail. The tail tip is a different color, usually yellowish or white, and the death adder wiggles it slowly like a worm. Birds, lizards, and small mammals see the moving tail, think it's food, and approach to investigate. The moment they get close enough, the death adder strikes. And death adders have the fastest strike of any snake. From a motionless position to full strike happens in 0.13 seconds. That's faster than you can blink. The prey animal doesn't see it coming until fangs are already embedded in its body. Their venom is highly neurotoxic. Before anti-venom, death adder bites had a 50% fatality rate. Even with anti-venom, bites cause paralysis, respiratory failure, and can take weeks to fully recover from. And they're called death adders because early Australian settlers thought they were a type of viper. They're not, they're elapids, related to cobras, but the name stuck because so many people died from stepping on them. Now let's discuss something that combines size with killing power in a way that's genuinely frightening, the black mamba. It's the fastest snake on Earth, capable of moving at 12 miles per hour, and it's aggressive. Most snakes flee when threatened. Black mambas stand their ground and strike repeatedly, and they don't just bite once, they bite multiple times in rapid succession, injecting massive amounts of venom with each strike. The venom is extremely potent. 2 drops can kill a human. A single bite delivers enough to kill 10 people. It's a neurotoxin that causes paralysis, respiratory failure, and without anti-venom, death within hours. And the venom acts fast. Symptoms appear within 10 minutes. But here's what makes black mambas uniquely terrifying. They live in Africa, where anti-venom is often unavailable in rural areas. Most bites happen to farmers or people in remote villages with no access to medical care. The mortality rate in untreated cases is nearly 100%, and black mambas get their name from the inside of their mouth, which is black. When threatened, they open wide to display it as a warning. If you see that black mouth, you have seconds to get away before it strikes. Now, something that hunts in a way that seems impossible, the spider-tailed horned viper. It's found in Iran and has evolved one of the most elaborate hunting strategies in the snake world. The end of its tail looks exactly like a spider, not just similar, identical, complete with fake legs made of modified scales that move independently when the snake wiggles its tail. It buries itself in rocky terrain with only the tail visible, then wiggles the fake spider. Birds see what looks like an easy meal, swoop down to grab the spider, and the viper strikes from ambush. The bird never sees the snake until it's already been bitten. This is molecular mimicry, taken to an extreme. The snake evolved a fake spider on its tail, specifically to exploit bird behavior. It's a biological puppet show designed to lure prey into lethal range. Alright, now let's talk about something that doesn't need venom because it has a better weapon, the green anaconda. It's one of the largest snakes on Earth, growing over 20 feet long and weighing over 200 pounds. Anacondas are constrictors, which means they kill by squeezing, but it's not crushing like most people think. The snake doesn't break bones or suffocate by compressing the lungs. It cuts off blood flow. When an anaconda wraps around prey, it feels for the heartbeat. Every time the heart beats, every time the prey exhales, the snake snake tightens incrementally. The prey can't inhale fully. Blood pressure drops. The heart works harder. The snake squeezes more. It's circulatory collapse, not suffocation. The prey's heart stops because blood can't circulate, and the snake knows exactly when it happens because it can feel the heartbeat stop through its body. And anacondas hunt large prey: capybaras, caimans, deer, even jaguars. There are documented cases of anacondas attempting to eat humans. In 2022, a 23-foot anaconda in Brazil was found dead with a human body inside it. The snake had successfully killed and begun swallowing a man before dying itself, possibly from injuries sustained during the attack. Now, something that proves evolution can be absolutely terrifying: the Mozambique spitting cobra. Most cobras inject venom through bites. Spitting cobras spray venom from their fangs like a squirt gun, and they aim for the eyes. With disturbing accuracy, a spitting cobra can hit a target the size of a human eye from 6 feet away while moving. The venom causes immediate, intense pain, temporary blindness, and if not treated, permanent eye damage. But here's the disturbing part: they don't spit when hunting. They bite prey normally. They only spit defensively at threats too large to eat, which means this adaptation evolved specifically for dealing with large predators, possibly humans. Studies suggest spitting cobras evolved relatively recently, potentially in response to human hunting pressure. They developed a long-range defensive weapon, specifically because we became a threat. Now let's close with something that shouldn't exist but does: the inland taipan. It's a snake from Central Australia, and it has the most toxic venom of any land snake on Earth. One bite contains enough venom to kill 100 adult humans, or 250,000 mice. The venom is a cocktail of neurotoxins, hemotoxins, and myotoxins. It attacks your nervous system, destroys your blood, and dissolves your muscle tissue simultaneously. And it acts fast, without treatment. Symptoms appear within 30 minutes. Headache, nausea, vomiting, then paralysis, internal bleeding, and organ failure. Death can occur within 45 minutes. But here's the strange part: inland taipans are rarely encountered and have never killed anyone on record, not because the venom isn't lethal, it absolutely is, but because they live in extremely remote areas of the Australian outback where almost no humans go. So the most venomous snake on Earth, the one that could kill you faster than any other, is also one of the least dangerous simply because you'll probably never meet it. And that's the thing about snakes: the ones you know about, the rattlesnakes and cobras, are dangerous, but the ones you don't know about are the real nightmares. Snakes have been evolving for over 100 million years, and they've gotten very good at killing. They've adapted to every environment on Earth except Antarctica. They hunt on land, in trees, underground, and in water, and they've developed more ways to kill prey than almost any other group of predators. Snakes aren't what you think. They're not just dangerous reptiles. They're the result of 100 million years of evolution, perfecting the art of the ambush, the strike, and the kill. And there's probably one near you right now, you just don't see it.